Welcome to the UCL Centre for Anaesthesia Single Best Answer series. Don't worry if you don't know the answer straight away. They're meant to stimulate your learning and develop your critical thinking. If you want, you can discuss the answers with your tutor or an anaesthetist in theatre. Press pause now while you read the answers. Okay, so this podcast is about fluid guidelines, really, isn't it? This is about the NICE, the National Institute of Health and Care Excellence, 2013 ward-based, or they call it hospital-based, fluid guidelines. Don't forget, this is really aimed at patients on the ward. It's not aimed at people in theatre, not particularly aimed at people in a resuscitation emergency department situation, primarily for the ward. So let's have a look at the answers. So number 1 millimole per kilogram each of sodium, potassium, calcium and chloride, and 50 to 100 grams of glucose. So that's almost what the guidelines say, but actually the guidelines don't include calcium. They say sodium, potassium, chloride, a millimole per kilogram per each per 24 hours, 50 to 100 grams of glucose, and the total volume of fluid being 24 to 30 mils per kilogram per 24 hours. I've deliberately left off the volume of fluid here in all of the answers. So it's about the constituents, not the actual total volume. So question A isn't correct because it doesn't mention calcium. So the second one, half a millimole per kilogram, well, that's not true because it's 1 millimole per kilogram each. Number 3 is the correct answer. Sodium, potassium, chloride at 1 millimole per kilogram each, and 50 to 100 grams of glucose. D is not correct because I've included calcium and magnesium and they're different amounts. And answer E hasn't got enough glucose in. So again, the correct answer is C, and that's because it has 1 millimole per kilogram each of sodium, potassium, chloride, and 50 to 100 grams of glucose per day, all in 24 to 30 mils per kilogram of total fluid. In a practical sense, it is a bit difficult as to what fluid to write up. There's no ideal fluid that has all these in exactly the right amounts. So saline, so-called normal saline, wouldn't have any potassium in. Saline hasn't got any glucose in. 5% glucose just has glucose in, doesn't have sodium, potassium, chloride. So you end up with a mixture of dextrose saline with added potassium. Dextrose saline, don't forget, is 4% glucose. That's 40 grams per litre of glucose, 4%. And 1/5 normal saline, so 30 millimoles per litre of sodium and 30 millimoles of potassium.